Pretty interesting day that Bitcoin is up. And yesterday, Jane Street was in hot water. And on top of it, we have to talk about President Trump's State of the Union speech he did. He is absolutely out of his mind, crazy, but it's funny. And I don't know what else to do during these times but laugh, because honestly, the economy is screwed. AI is taking over. Bitcoin, XRP, crypto prices down. Well, we're up a little bit today. We're up a little bit today. And it's just an absolute hot mess. Like, the way that I cope with life is I just laugh. I just have to laugh at things. I even laugh when people die. Well, not inherently like when they die, I'm sad inside, but it's like that's just how I cope with things, because life is so ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And like, what else are you going to do? What are you going to do? But we have some clips from the speech that he gave, which are, some of them are funny. And one of the things I do appreciate about him, I mean, he's out of his mind. And again, it's not blue versus red. There's good and there's bad. And I put out a video yesterday actually agreeing with Bernie Sanders about AI and how it needs to kind of be checked to an extent. We don't want to let China win, but they're already winning, number one. And number two, we have to figure out how to protect our people. We really need to do that. It's incredibly important. Yes, I talk about opportunities to make money with AI, primarily when it comes to crypto, because that's my wheelhouse. And I really think that microtransactions will set the stage, and we're going to have entire ecosystems, like within XRPL, within Solana, within Cardano, within Bitcoin, within Ethereum, with any single layer one. We're going to have all of these different little ecosystems, and it's going to be super cool. And that's why I continue to push you guys to self-educate yourself about AI and about crypto and how things can be integrated. And I think that the next set of millionaires that will come from crypto are going to be building crypto and AI projects. And of course, we talk about the trifecta a lot: AI, DeFi, RWAs, and of course, that little layer of privacy, because that is going to very, very, very much matter. But let's go ahead and get into it. I actually had a train of thought, but I forgot. Welcome back to the O Show, everything crypto, every single day. I'm WendyO. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, of course, set alerts. And let's go ahead and give a shout out to our channel members. I actually feel good today. Yesterday I was kind of like, but I did my hot Pilates. It was good. But we got to give a shout out to, oh yes, I clicked the thing. Woo. Shout out to Mr. Dale. He shows up every day. To Mike, I was going to call you Michael. Sorry. Mike V shows up every day to appreciate you. Shout out to Lawrence. He says, being in Malaysia isn't going to stop me from tuning in to Princess Live. Still highlighted the day, even on hold, except now there's several related to speed and power. Awesome, Lawrence. So I wonder, send us pictures of what you're doing in Malaysia. Would love to see. Shout out to Mr. R, to gorgeous Alexandra. Missed you yesterday, girl. To Mr. Bubba Davis. Love him. Cherry. John Germain watching me from Memorex over there. Who else? We've got Music JJ. Who else? All right. Oh, and CJ. CJ's here. And of course, Matt XRP. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it, because there's a lot to cover today. And yeah, it's fun stuff. The market's up, which is interesting considering that Jane Street got like hit allegedly. But yeah, no more 10 a.m. slams. And that's the only type of slams those dudes were getting over there, was that type of slam. They don't get any of the other slams. But anyways. Uh-oh. I think I've made a mistake over here. Hold on a second. Hold on. Whoops. All right, let's see if this works. Hold on. Wendy's going crazy over here. I didn't set my stuff up properly. Of course not. Why would I? All right, here we go. All right, let's go ahead and listen to some clips from yesterday's speech from Mr. Trumpy Poo, because, you know, he just says stuff. He's just living his best life.
The stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election. Think of that, 1 year. Boosting pensions, 401ks, and retirement accounts for the millions and millions of Americans. They're all gaining. Everybody's up, way up.
Okay, I'm not up. And we're going to talk about it. My 401k from 2017 is not up, okay? It is not up any way, shape, or form. You know what portfolio is up, even at the current prices today? My Bitcoin portfolio, my Ethereum portfolio from 2017. So let's face it, Trump is a great marketer. He's really good at just saying things, doing things, going viral. But really, when we take a look at the U.S. economy, it's not up. It's not doing good. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. What is this? Hold on. What is this? Oh. Funny. Anyways, but yeah, it's not up. It's not. I mean, and now with the information we found out about Jane Street, which is a traditional financial firm, and they were essentially kind of manipulating Bitcoin and crypto, the stock market and TradFi, it's just a big scam. So even though the stock market's up, it doesn't mean that Americans are up, doesn't mean that Americans are doing good. And especially with the rise of AI, we are going to see the destruction of the middle class, which the middle class was is really, it's what everybody in the world wanted to be. That's why we have so many immigrants that come to America, because they wanted to be in the middle class. They wanted, or do better for themselves, but they wanted to integrate themselves and assimilate, and they wanted to do better. That's why my family came here from Sicily. That's why my family came here from Eastern Europe, because they wanted to do better. And they couldn't do that where they were. But with the middle class getting wiped out primarily because of AI and whoever has the biggest check wins, this is a bunch of BS. So we're going to call it out on it. I mean, it looks good, it sounds good, but that's not the truth. It's not the truth. So if your portfolio is up, smash the like. If your portfolio is down, smash the like. All of that, all right? All of it. Now this over here, let's see what he's got going on. Trump said the ruling from the Supreme Court is unfortunate, and this is about the tariffs. One of the primary reasons for our country's stunning economic turnaround in the biggest history, where the Dow Jones broke 50,000 4 years ahead of schedule, the S&P hit 7,000 where it wasn't supposed to, for tariffs. No, that's because it's manipulated. And this is the thing. We can sit here and go tit for tat all day long. I am not here to, I'm just talking about the truth here, okay? S&P, Dow hitting, that's great. That's fine. But how does that translate to Americans being able to afford homes? How does it translate to Americans to be able to afford shelter, food, and energy? How does that? Especially that they're building all these data centers all over the United States, because we have to compete with China. How about we compete with China, but we don't infringe on other Americans' rights, and we make it, we integrate everything the right way, but we can't do that because that's not the way it works, especially now, because we don't have the types of checks and balances we had in the Wild Wild West. Then that's why I continue to push you guys to learn about AI and how to grift ethically and legally within the constraints of the law. And that's why we Bitcoin, and that's why we crypto, because the opportunities to become successful entrepreneurs continue to dwindle. And it's getting absorbed by big tech and, I said something else, and the ivory towers and everything else in between. So we can sit here and be pissed off all day long, which I am, I get upset. But at the same time, we have to figure out how to fit in. Like this morning, I was just really frustrated with different algorithms on 2 social media platforms. But then, and I realized, I was like, you know what? It was so much easier to go viral and to grow an account before 2023. And everything's changed. But that's the thing, is everything continues to change. So you can change along with it. It's okay to be pissed off about it, but you can change along with it, or you can just sit and complain. If you change along with it, at least you have a chance to get rich. If you just sit and complain and do nothing, God helps those who help themselves. And that's I don't even know if that's a saying in the Bible or not. I have no idea. I actually heard that from Footloose, but that's how you do well. Is you help yourself, and you start working towards your goals, and things just fall into place. Hell, I didn't even think I would ever be a homeowner or be a mom or any of this. But you know what? Things fall into place if you continue to show up every single day and you do your best. It might not be exactly how you want it, because I should have married a music man. But things work out. And this is Mr. Newsom over here. First off, Newsom is bad at math. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if we're going to be slamming public servants, we got to slam all the public servants all the way around, baby. All the way around. Woo! And this is the thing, you guys. I do not care what side of the political spectrum you are on, just as long as you care about the middle class. But more importantly, you care about the babes. You care about the innocents. Just as long as we see eye to eye on that, we can disagree on other stuff, respectfully, but I don't care. And Gavin Newsom is a perfect example of the public servants needing to use a CBDC, them, not us, and putting all public servant spending on the blockchain. Trump should use tonight's State of the Union address to return the 1,751 he taxed every single American family over the last years with his illegal tariffs. Guess what, Newsom? My gas is increasing for my car. My gas in my home is increasing. My electricity is increasing, and I have damn solar that's paid off. Our schools are like a 3 out of 10. It's just, I can't even get plastic bags anymore. I can go on and on about Newsom, but you know what? The amount of fraud that's happened underneath his reign is absolutely disgusting. It is. But you know what? Trump promised us $2,000 stimulus checks, not $1,700. And you know what? It's the states, they could disagree with what the president's doing all day long, and they can do things to help offset costs, but he refuses to. And by the way, those of you that are not in the beautiful county of Los Angeles, they have still not even gotten close to rebuilding Eaton and Palisades. Permits, all kinds of stuff. Spencer Pratt talks about it all the time. But anyways, that's what's going on with that. But I had to shout it out because why not? Now, this one's a funny one. Let's hear it.
Our country is winning again. In fact, we're winning so much that we really don't know what to do about it. People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning in our country. Until you came along, we're just always losing, but now we're winning too much. And I say, no, 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 you're going to win again. You're going to win big. You're going to win bigger than ever. And to prove that point, here with us tonight is a group of winners.
I cannot America is so ghetto. We are just a hot mess. And you know what? I want to say before the 2008 housing crash, we were winning. We were doing pretty damn well. And I think we're doing pretty damn well under Mr. Disgusting Clinton. I digress, though. But you know what? Our public servants, they are a disaster. They are a disgrace. Our taxpayer dollars go to fund their salary, which we are legally extorted for, and they are not held accountable for their actions. Yes, I voted for Trump because I am pro-crypto, but I can still criticize things that he does. And I will. But apparently we're winning. So if you're winning, smash the like. And if you're not winning, smash the like. I'm winning in life. I'm winning in life because I'm alive. Oh, Lord. This one is a good one. I'm gonna go off on this. So let me cook.
As we ensure that all Americans can profit from a rising stock market, let's also ensure that members of Congress cannot corruptly profit from using insider information.
This is the thing, Mr. Trump. I absolutely love this. And I'm glad that he called out Nancy Pelosi, which we'll get to that in a second. I love it that he wants to ban Congress from trading stocks. But if we're going to do that, let's keep it consistent. Let's keep it very, 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 very consistent. And it should be more than just trading stocks. It should be trading crypto. And it should be very strict investing. Very, 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 very strict. Because I'm still not happy with you about your crypto businesses, your families, which I get it is a true decentralized economy. I understand. But at the same time, the ethical thing to do would have been to wait to launch the World Liberty Finance platform and all of that once we had established law. Because right now, retail is getting absolutely effed. And retail will get effed if we do not get yield on stablecoins. Because the people that are advocating for us are not advocating for retail. And that's why I tell you all to write to your public servants and demand that they speak out on your behalf and represent your best interest, because that's what your taxpayer dollars go to.
They stood up for that. I can't believe it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up if she's here?
Love it. Did Nancy Pelosi stand up? Good. You know, she's done incredibly well, and his family's done incredibly well with their meme coins and their crypto businesses. And again, we could talk about the pros and the cons. That's okay to do. Because if you're listening to somebody on the internet or listening to anyone at all, your group of friends they agree with every single thing you say, you are not going to grow as a person. And you're going to be your own worst enemy. And that is a personal choice. And that is not that you will not be allowing God to help you, because God helps those who help themselves. Yes, we have a pro-crypto administration. Yes, it's a lot better than it would have been in the past. But guess what? We need to do a little bit better. Now, we have to do a shout out. We have a partner today. Thank you so much to our partners over at Meta Signals. Thank you so much for partnering with the O Show, everything crypto every single day. I am going to really ask you guys to, by supporting me, you can support them. You can at least check out what they've got going on. The links are going to be down below. And we're talking about them because we are also talking about trading. And this is going to be important. So it uses over 200 proprietary algorithms to spot high probability trades across 64 pairs and 10 timeframes. It monitors charts 24/7 and sends alerts via Discord. You'll receive stop loss and take profit suggestions. It's co-founded by Eric Crown, or Mr. K-Dub, Mr. Crypto Zombie. Great friend of mine. Zombie, really quickly, I had the pleasure of meeting him. Pretty sure his wife was there too, at an event in San Francisco, and he's a great friend of mine. Just one of the nicest people ever. One of the most genuine people in crypto. Really nice guy, very honest, just a cool person. So more than happy to be partnering with Meta Signals. Anyways, Colin, James, Pavel, and Nathan Lai V are also on the team, and these guys are experienced traders with backgrounds at top trading firms. The platform is beginner friendly, and the Meta Signals NFT gives you lifetime access to alerts, trading alpha, and more. NFT access ends April 1st, April Fool's Day, so be quick. The NFT costs 1 ETH, so take advantage of it while it's still available, and ETH is essentially affordable. And you can try before you jump in. Join the Discord, ask questions, read the FAQ, and the link is in description. Again, thank you so much to Meta Signals for partnering with the O Show, everything crypto every single day, and keeping us afloat during this bear market, all right? Because things are getting crazy. Now, we're going to go back to Mr. Trump because there's more stuff to talk about. So this one is a little bit of a longer clip here, but I actually do want to listen to it with you. I want to listen to it with you guys because I didn't get a chance to. I just read what was going on.
When it comes to the corruption that is plundering, it's plundering America. There's been no more stunning example than Minnesota, where members of the Somali community have pillaged an estimated $19 billion from the American taxpayer. Oh, we have all the information. And in actuality, the number is much higher than that. And California, Massachusetts, Maine, and many other states are even worse. This is the kind of corruption that shreds the fabric of a nation, and we are working on it like you wouldn't believe. So tonight, although started 4 months ago, I am officially announcing the war on fraud to be led by our great Vice President, J.D. Vance. Done. And we're able to find enough of that fraud.
This is the thing. This is why, and again, it's not just one place, it's multiple places, but this is why I am so gung-ho about putting all public servant spending on the blockchain. It needs to be transparent. We should be able to verify, to track it 24/7, 365, because what's happening in our country, and again, this is a bipartisan issue, okay? What is happening is absolutely disgusting. We, again, as taxpayers, which again, if you guys need help with taxes, we've got the sum, which is down below. You can get 20% off. Hello. Got to do that. It's good stuff to help you file your crypto tax. Well, not help you file, but it helps calculate stuff. But anyways, I digress. Back to it. We are extorted with taxpayer dollars. Okay. We are forced to pay taxes. If you don't pay taxes, they're going to gaffle you up. Okay. They will gaffle you up. Now, with that being said, if I'm forced to pay taxes, I want to know where every single penny goes. Especially because there should not be 3 out of 10 schools. My daughter has to go to private school because the school down the street that's walking distance is 5 out of 10. My daughter is proficient in, for her age, guitar, Spanish, mathematics, English. She could read, she can write, she can spell. She does long division. She is doing long division with double digits into lots of digits, at least 4 or 5. And she's in 4th grade. And they do fractions. They do all kinds of stuff. They don't teach it at the school down the street. Put it all in the damn blockchain because I've had it. I have really had it. I'm sure a lot of you have too. Now, we're going to talk about that in a second. I want to go back on... We'll talk about that too. But I want to talk about Jane Street right now. This is really important. Okay. This comes from Zero Hedge. We're going to talk about price action right now. But they say, and it's very interesting, the Bitcoin number is up right now. For the first time in 2 months, a full day of Bitcoin trading without a motivated seller taking out the entire bid stack in one trade to crush momentum. Amazing how that works. And it was announced yesterday that Jane Street had a lot to do with, allegedly from Wall Street Journal, with the depeg of UST, which is a stablecoin in the Terra Luna ecosystem. There was no 10 a.m. slam. None at all. And then he's quote tweeting Do Kwon, if you had only told the truth about Jane Street's involvement, Terraform would still be solvent and you would not be in prison. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all, because bad actors are going to bad act. Sam Bankman-Fried. But my girl Vanessa, she had posted this. She says, you know what SBF, the Terra Luna lawsuit, and the $400 million in stolen customer funds have in common? Jane Street. SBF, Jane Street trader. Same with Caroline Ellison, the girlfriend. Gabe Backman. Jane Street trader, later ran SBF's political dark money. Lily Zhang, Jane Street trader, SBF's ex-girlfriend. We already know what happened with FTX. Do Kwon, Jane Street was Terra's market-making partner from day one. During the UST collapse, Do Kwon was in direct group chat with Jane Street's Bryce Pratt, a former Terraform intern, who used that to access the front run, the depeg. This is all allegedly. Jane Street is linked to every major fraudster from last cycle. Interesting stuff, right? I didn't come up with that. She did. I just wanted to share it with you. But look at Bitcoin price action. Why did we get thrown out again? Hold on. What's going on over here? Why are you throwing me out? Sign in, buddy. Come on, buddy. The hee-haw. Throwing me out. I'm hungry. I'm hungry as hell right now. Oof. And I'm out of avocado. But really interestingly enough, let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin chart over here. Yeah, here we go. So if you are somebody who does not like to trade, you can take a look at prediction markets. Shout out to OG. Or if you would like to, use a tax advantage platform, you can take a look at iTrust. You actually sign up with iTrust. Ref links down below. You get $100. So shout out to iTrust and OG for being both partners of the O Show. Now, when we take a look at Bitcoin, look at our chart over here. Jane Street gets called out. We find a local bottom at about 63,700 here. We flip up above 68,000 and we're getting close to hit $70,000. Was this the local bottom over here? I was calling for 55. I said there might be a possible swing wick low to 49. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope we don't hit 55,000. But you know what? Things are looking decent right now. And especially on the weekly. Weekly looks glorious. Absolutely glorious. These swing wick lows, generally when you see these, and again, this is why meta signals is important, because if you're not somebody who knows how to trade properly, check them out. But the fact that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 swing wick lows on the weekly, this generally indicates that bulls are stepping in to push price up. And maybe, just maybe, Jane Street was doing the stuff. We don't know. We don't really have confirmation yet. It's all alleged. But pretty interesting stuff. Really, really interesting. And then when we take a look at the entire crypto market cap, we're currently back above the EMA 200 on the weekly at $2.36 trillion. Interesting how that works, right? Right? And again, before you're like, crypto's a scam, I'm done with crypto. I got my dizzy right now. I need to eat. But before you're like, crypto's a scam, this happens in traditional finance, right? It happens in traditional finance. It happens there too. It's not just exclusive to crypto. It doesn't work that way, baby. It doesn't work that way. There's bad actors everywhere. Crypto's more transparent though. I've been seeing a lot of people post all over X different types of order books, and I hate reading order books, so I don't want to do it anymore. I'm a lazy trader now. But they're posting all these different order books and all these different things, like showing like, hey, this is what happened. This is what's going on. I don't want to go through that. I'm just a bimbo on the internet. But pretty interesting stuff, right? So we might be back. We might be. We'll see. Now, let's get back into some of the other stuff that was going on. Okay. This is a hot topic. Trump administration considers requiring banks to collect citizenship information. Potential executive order would enlist banks in the White House. Illegal immigration crackdown. I don't have an issue with this. I mean, they're going to have to be careful though, because you can't just and this probably stems from all the voting ID and just the fraud and the stuff that would happen. Like, you have to show these types of documents to do all kinds of stuff. So I really don't have an issue with it. Like, I don't. The states are probably going to have to kind of lower the cost or make everything electronic where you can see the stuff instantly. Maybe you pay like a $20 flat fee and you can download all your stuff. I don't know. I don't really have an issue with this. But again, there are people here that are on green cards or whatnot. And just as long as it's not giving them a hard time, or people that are paying taxes, just as long as it's not giving them a hard time. So I don't really see the issue with that. Because like when you get married, you have to provide all kinds of stuff. When you get divorced, you have to provide kinds of stuff. When you do the live scan, all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. I'm more concerned about this, that Trump calls on Congress to ban investment firms buying homes. Do you understand how iconic this would be? Part of the reason why the cost of living is so high in America and housing is so unaffordable is because of how our economy is set up. We let people buy homes in America that are not even residents, that don't even live here. It's not even their primary, okay? If you go to Mexico, you can't do that. You go to China, forget it. You can't do that in other countries. They have very strict laws, super, super strict laws. And Italy is actually increasing their laws on who can buy and can do things and how you get your citizenship. I actually qualified for citizenship in Italy, but I waited too long to do it because they changed their laws. So and investment firms have no business buying homes. They don't. They can buy big office buildings. But that's part of the problem. Also, some of the rental, the land, like, that the egregious type of stuff. But these investment firms should not be allowed to buy properties. And I've told you guys, I'm a firm believer that they should have like 2% flat interest rates for any single family primary residence. That would help. So if he does that, that would be absolutely iconic. Absolutely iconic. And I like that. Now, let's talk a little bit about Ripple XRP. So there's some more drama going on, of course, because it's Ripple. There's always drama. Oh, also, too, I sat down with Charles H. from Cardano and Midnight yesterday. We had a nice long chat on the show. I don't really do too many interviews because there's a lot of boring people in crypto, and I like to be sassy. I actually like Charles a lot. I think he's incredibly intelligent and he's super fun. Like, I would love to actually go out for drinks with him and just party. Like, I think he'd be super, super fun. But anyways, I digress. That is going to drop either this week or next week. Not sure yet. I haven't decided when I want to do it, but it's going to be good. It was a really, really good one. He's a smart guy, and he's also, he's a smart guy, but he's not pompous. Like, if you would think that sometimes super smart people are like, he's not like that. It wasn't like that to me. So I think he's a cool dude. Anyways, David Schwartz on Ripple's control over XRPL. So basically everybody is like, XRPL is decentralized, XRP is not. I don't think XRP is centralized, or excuse me, XRP to me is centralized. Ripple is a banker's, it's institutional project, okay, is what it is. XRPL is different though, that's a ledger. So Schwartz claims that XRPL is controlled by Ripple, objectionable nonsense. He emphasizes that XRPL uses distributed validators and consensus, not corporate control. XRPL's consensus model is different from Bitcoin's proof of work. Malicious nodes are ignored. This prevents censorship or double spends. Transactions discrimination occurs on Bitcoin and Ethereum, but not on XRPL. And XRPL has over 1,000 nodes. So whether you think that's decentralized or not, that's your business. I don't really care. But as far as I'm concerned, the ledger's decentralized. XRP is not. And I know y'all are going to get mad at me. Don't come for me. We talk about the pros and the cons of everything, and I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your behind because number one, you can't afford for me to do that, and number two, I don't play that game. I could probably be very rich if I did, but I don't have patience for it, okay? Now, Midnight Foundation. So Midnight MoneyGram. Woo! So Midnight is launching on mainnet in March. The network will start with federated node operators to ensure stability early on. MoneyGram joined as initial node operator. This is actually massive. Really, 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 really massive stuff. Super massive stuff. I'm going to do a second video about this for y'all, okay? They operate in over 200 countries because wasn't Ripple a partner or something with MoneyGram? I forget. Anyways, MoneyGram will help explore on-chain payments while keeping privacy and compliance intact. And the goal of Midnight is to build blockchain focused on privacy, regulatory, compliance, and real world. And again, I am dropping the interview with Charles, and he kind of goes through and explains all this. Not about MoneyGram, the MoneyGram and Midnight in particular, but just how Midnight can be used for privacy, for compliance, but also in a decentralized manner, if that makes sense. And he also corrected me. Midnight is not a privacy side chain. It's a partner chain. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, ADA, BAT, aka Brave, hello, BNB, Avalanche. Okay. Now, more stuff over here. So remember, God, you talk too much over here. So remember, he's just blah, blah, blah. So basically this post over here, remember how everybody's like, oh my God, Vitalik's dumping, blah, 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 blah. This post over here, Vitalik basically said, he said, in these 5 years, the Ethereum Foundation is entering periods of mild austerity in order to be able to simultaneously meet two goals. And this is part of the reason why they're selling. Okay. So it's not really that big of a deal. Really, it's not. But people will make it to be a big deal. Now, look on chain. Ethereum treasury firm FG Nexus sold another 7,500 Ethereum. Why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? I don't know. Because a lot of these, remember when I told you guys, I said trade the DATs? That's what Gamer did, and he did incredibly well. But I said trade these DATs. Get in and get out. And the ones that will sustain are the ones that actually integrate the cryptos that they're holding in their DATs into their business. And most of them didn't. Most of them were buying the top because they had no idea what they're doing. And as somebody that has advised for companies that like DATs, that integrated one, MicroStrategy becomes the most heavily shorted U.S. stock, but don't assume pure bearishness. You know, he's a smart guy. He'll be fine. Now we'll get it. We'll talk about this another day. This one's boring. Investment giant TD Cowen predicts Bitcoin to hit 225,000 in 2027. I hope so. Because Mama's got to buy a Gucci bag, a used one, but it's $500. So I need this to happen now. Also, this account over here, CoinVio, posted this chart. I don't know who they are. I know who Peter Brandt is, but basically they're saying that Bitcoin hit its bear market bottom for exactly 23 months after the all-time high in every single cycle. So hopefully we are in fact at the bottom. We talked about it. I mean, on my chart over here, what I see is, I mean, if we do fractal-based technical analysis again, I can totally be wrong. I don't really care if you think I'm wrong or not. And I don't care if I'm wrong because I'm here for the long haul. But if we do fractal-based technical analysis, we will see, you know, Bitcoin drops below the EMA 200. We haven't really done, we kind of did that, but like actually trade. So we'll see. I hope we're at the bottom and I hope we pump soon. It would be wonderful. Anyways, this is all boring stuff. Well, maybe we'll get to it tomorrow. Anyways, that's the show. I need to eat. I'm hungry. But yeah, that's the show. We streamed, you know, quite some time today. I was on time today. Shout out to MJ Guzman. Who else came in? To Mr. Legend. If you guys are watching and not commenting, you need to just drop something in the chat. Don't be ridiculous. Say hi. Sometimes I say hi back. I don't bite. Sometimes I do. But anyways, you guys, I'm going to get going because I got stuff to do. And today's a busy day. Let me just tell you about my baby. So not last night, the night before, she had a nightmare. She still sleeps with me. My baby's 9. We co-sleep. And it's not because we don't have. I had to co-sleep with my family until I was like almost 16, something like that, because that's all we had. My baby's got her own room. Doesn't want to be in there. She wants to be with Mama. That's fine. I got room in the bed. I got a big king size bed. But 2 nights ago, she had a really bad nightmare, and I wake up, you know, and I comforted her, but she didn't want to talk about it. And then last night, she slept like a baby. I woke up, and her little head was on my tummy. A little stinky. But today is our busy day. We got vocals. We got guitar. We got a play date. So I'm very looking forward to that. But sending you guys love and light. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for being amazing. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye, babies.